So let's start. Vinicius, introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about you.
Okay, my name is Vinicius, as you already know. I'm 26 years old. I'm a journalist, and I've been studying English for a while now. But I'm a language enthusiast, I would say. I also speak Spanish, and yeah, in the future, I'd like to learn French and other languages.
Okay, very good, very good. So, do you know how many years have you been studying English?
Well, I don't know exactly, but I studied English in my regular school. But maybe 5 years ago, I started in a traditional course in a school called CNA. It's really famous here in Brazil. And I started studying English seriously back then. And since then, yeah, maybe 5 years that I'm studying English like seriously.
Okay, 5 years. And CNA, I think they always say good things about this school. I don't know. Do you think
Yeah.
it's a good school?
To me, it's a good school. They have good materials and also really good teachers. So to me, it's a good school.
Okay, very good, very good. And now, what have you been doing to keep your level in English?
To me, maybe the most important thing to me, uh, especially to my work, is my conversational fluency. So I'm doing conversation classes really often. I use a platform called Cambly. You know about it, and it's a really good platform. And also, I'm having classes with private teachers of English just to keep my level.
Very good. Yes, but because this is a mistake that we always commit, I think. Because when we are learning English, we believe that we will reach a level and then we will have this level forever. But
Yeah,
unfortunately or fortunately, depends, we need to keep studying forever. It's
forever.
an
Yeah,
ending journey. So I think you need to enjoy to this
yeah.
process.
You need to enjoy the this journey because even with Portuguese, if you start to speak just in English right now until the end of your life, you're gonna forget all of your Portuguese.
Exactly. I think so. So you told me that you have been using Cambly. Do you use Cambly to learn Spanish as well?
No, just English. Just English.
And how do you do to learn Spanish?
I studied in Spanish on CNA as well, and I had really good classes. And also, I passed through a proficiency exam in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. I got the C1 level in Spanish, and it was good to me, but I'm not practicing my Spanish really often. So I think I'm losing my fluency in Spanish. I need to brush up on my Spanish.
Oh, very good. I believe that you can use Cambly as well if you know some. Maybe you
Yeah,
know teacher
I've
that can.
seen some people on YouTube using Cambly to study Spanish, and I had a teacher that she used Cambly to learn French. So yeah, maybe it can be useful to me.
Exact. Yes, I have been using Cambly to learn Spanish for 5 months. And if you want, I can recommend some teachers.
Oh, perfect.
I just have
I do
two
like.
teachers. I just have two teachers in Spanish, but they are really good.
Are you enjoying the Spanish classes on Cambly?
Yes, I enjoy because it's just conversation.
Okay.
Like all the other tutors in Cambridge, I think the most of them are more conversation. So for me, it's good. But of course, I need to search like grammar, rules.
Yeah,
I need to do my
I
homework.
agree.
If I just have classes, I think it's not very good.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you.
Very good, very good. And have you ever been abroad?
Yeah, I went on an exchange program last year, and it was uh, the experiences that I that changed my life, I would say.
I agree with you. Yes, it's really life changing. And which country did you go?
I went to England. I spent 1 month in London studying English every weekday. It was tough, but I think my English improved a lot in this time.
Exactly. I know, of course, the 1 month is good to. I think maybe you didn't learn many words, but I think it's good for our confidence,
Yeah,
my opinion, because it was your first time abroad.
yeah, it was my first time abroad. And I'm pretty used to American English. So I learned a lot of vocabulary in British English because I was not used to this kind of accent. I learned a lot in this in this exchange.
Exactly. So when I went to New Zealand, I had this problem that I'm used to American English, and it was something really basic. For example, in England or New Zealand, they say holiday for vacation as well. They don't
Vacation,
use this
yeah,
word vacation. The first day that I went to New Zealand, my school told me, "Oh, you will have 15 days of holiday." And I didn't understand why 15 days. It's a lot of time.
yeah.
Like a carnival. I didn't understand, but it was a vacation. I didn't know that holiday is a vacation. Stupid thing, but I didn't know.
Yeah, there are other things like the difference between pants and trousers in British English, which
Mhm.
is really good if you know this difference before going to England, for example.
Okay, very good. So, did you have some problems with the language? Some funny story? Mm,
Um, I didn't have much problems with the language, but for example, in UK, actually in England, we have over than 40 different types of accents in this country.
mhm.
And once I was in Cambridge, I was buying a coffee, and one employee told something to me, and I was like, what? I didn't understand. And then he repeated, and I was able to understand. And he noticed that my accent was a foreign accent, and he asked me where I was from, and I said I'm Brazilian. And then we started to talk about football, all
Uh-huh.
about football, and it was a challenging situation to me, but I could hold a conversation about football with a foreign guy speaking a really difficult accent. So this was like an accomplishment to my
Uh-huh.
journey.
It was the first time that you talked with someone face to face, a foreign people face to face.
No, it wasn't. Because I work as a journalist, so sometimes I need to interview people in English, and sometimes these people are from United States or England. And my first experience talking face to face to a native speaker of English, it was an interview that I was really, nervous, anxious because it would be my first time speaking. And I had a few minutes to finish the interview. Everything was perfect back then. Everything was perfect, better than I was thinking. But at the end, I said something like, "I'm sorry for my terrible English." And why I said that? Yeah, I think this was my biggest mistake when it comes to speaking English or studying English, my whole journey.
Uh-huh. So you said that, and what the person told you? He,
I said
he
to me,
said,
"No, your English is perfect. We had a conversation, so your English is perfect. Don't worry about it."
very good. But it's funny because your first time speaking face to face was an important interview.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's
Before that, I had just had conversations in Cambly with foreigners.
Hmm. Yes, yes. Cambly is very good because he prepare you to almost a real situation. It's not exactly
Yeah,
real,
yep.
but I think it's the closest that you can reach when you are
Yep,
speaking.
because the conversations on Cambly are really natural and it looks like a real conversation in the real world. So yeah, I think it's a good platform.
Yes, another question. When you was in London, the first week, you of course you spoke a lot in English. Did you feel your brain like burning, like really tired, or you didn't
Yeah,
feel that?
my fiancé was with me in this exchange program, and at the end of the day, we were just talking Portuguese because we were like, really tired of speaking English. Until nowadays, sometimes when I have to speak English for a long time, I feel really overwhelmed and tired, exhausted
Hmm.
to speaking that much.
Exactly. Yes. And for you, of course, you have a really good English.
But thank
You
you.
exchange. You told me in the last class that you were in the advanced class, everything. So, what is fluency for you? Do you think you are fluent, or do you think fluent is just native speakers? How would you define fluency?
Oh, that's a tough question. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's kind of challenging.
Yeah, I I've read in some place, I don't know where, that fluency it's like a state. It's not something that you can reach and you will never lost, for example. Um, we have these levels A1, A2, B1, B2, etc. And for example, you can be a fluent speaker in B2 level. You don't need to be advanced in English to be fluent because, for example, a child can be fluent in a language without be really proficient in this language or uh, don't having a good pronunciation or stuff like that. So to me, if you practice a lot, you can reach fluency. You can, but when it comes to proficiency, which means that you are making less mistakes, you are being more confident when you are speaking, it takes more time and takes a lot of studies. But in my opinion, every person that are studying a language can reach fluency.
Mhm.
But for example, it's a state. If you stop practicing, you can lose your fluency.
Uh-huh. Yes, I agree with you. Really good example, actually.
So in my case, as you asked me, uh, now I have reached a level of fluency. Of course, I'd like to be more proficient in the language because in this conversation, I don't know if you noticed, but I make some mistakes, which is normal. We make mistakes even in Portuguese, but I'd like to reach a higher level of English, and this will demand a lot of effort, but it's possible.
Tell me, uh, do you think there is a secret to learn a new language? What is your secret?
Well, my secret is sit down and study a lot. There's no secret, man. Every ability that you are trying to learn, you need to spend a lot of time doing it and studying because otherwise you are not learning anything and you are not developing this ability. So when it comes to languages, it's the same. You need to practice a lot and you need to know that it's not simple. For example, you're not gonna spend 3 years studying and become fluent. So you need to sit down and be patient, enjoy the journey, as you said before, because this is the best way to achieve a higher level and, of course, never stop studying.
That's it for today. Thank you very much for this conversation.
It was my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me, for this invite.
Very good, man. Thank you very much. See you.